Hello, ladies. How's it going? I am here back with another production tutorial. I think this is my fourth attempt filming this throughout the last year. But, December's approaching, the clock is ticking, and I think this is going to be it. I think you're finally going to see the production breakdown for Don't Blink. I really do love this song. It came out a while ago now with my album, The Paradox of Choice, which then had a deluxe version, The Paradox of the Second Choice. And yeah, it's like one of my favorites on the album, and I had a lot of requests asking to get a production breakdown of this one. So I figured it's about time I deliver. Let's dive into Don't Blink and see what we are working with. Okay, so. Oh. Freezing. Brr. Okay, let's dive in. So in this beginning, I just called it miscellaneous samples. So I don't even know how I would describe that sound, but I just wanted to just throw you in the song with what is going on. I feel like this right here kind of gives the energy that this song's gonna be kind of fun. It's gonna be kind of quirky. So the first thing that I'm gonna highlight here is we have this splice loop that if I play it to you, I have to unfreeze that. If I play that to you with no plugins, this is what it sounds like. And obviously the volume's being automated, so the original sample does stay the same volume the whole time. But it's just like a record scratch, and I just added a tremolo, and just EQ'd the low end up a bit. But that way it kind of just moves in your ears and your headphones, and it's super fun. Adds that little bit of movement in the beginning and kind of disorients you. Then we have this bounce. It sounds absolutely insane. Without any plugins, this is what it sounds like. Which also just sounds crazy. And what I believe it is this reversed and then bounced in place. I don't remember what I did. I didn't save it, but I somehow reversed it and then spliced it up kind of, and then added the crystallizer, which is with the game show riser effect, and that's what makes it sound like this. Which just makes it sound completely just unrecognizable from where it started. And then this is just a synth note reversed. And then this is just one bass line, one bass note. With just the volume automated. So yeah, it's pretty simple beginning. Really the main thing that's doing the heavy lifting here is the crystallizer plugin that's doing that game show riser sound. And it was so cute. The other day I was with my friend Nico and we were messing around just on Logic, and I used this plugin, and Nico was like, wow, that's the one you used in Don't Blink. I was like, you recognized it? Oh, love you, Nico. And now we get into the first verse. Okay?
Thinking too much about taking in the moment, so I forget to take in the moment. Don't blink.
Okay, so kind of very simple, okay? For the synth line, we just have the same melody being played 3 times. On just, this is just the Scarby bass, which is the Native Instruments Contact bass plugin. And I have it going through Logic's stock bass amp with the edgy preset. I liked the sound of that. And then we have also just this stock Logic sound 90s solid synth bass. I liked just like the punchiness and the simpleness, and those together sound really nice. And then the star of the show, that's literally called the Don't Blink, is what I called it, but it is actually the 80s Are Us preset in the OPX-A Arturia plugin. But I did something. I messed around with it a little bit. Don't know what. I swear to you, when I am messing with synths, I black out. I just like change knobs and until I like the sound. I don't know what I'm doing. I just am doing it completely based off of vibes. So I can never tell you what it is that I changed, but I just know something's different. I'm sure you could take a screenshot of this and do a comparison, but I won't be doing that. So, and then that sounds like this. And I have it pitched up an octave. So then, yeah, those all together just really give the oomph of the song. And that line kind of continues throughout the whole song. I do change it up a bit because the key or the chords change and all of that, but pretty much the same throughout there. Then the other element we got is the drums, which is not a lot going on. I just have this splice loop that I found, which I just threw on the UAD SSL G-Bus compressor, which a lot of people say it's like the glue of your drum bus, or of your mix. And did I change anything on it? I guess I literally just threw it on there and forgot about it. That happens sometimes. I have it then going through sending like to a reverb bus, which I always do, and then I have this kick that is just like a sample that I merged them all together so it would be easy to manipulate with, but it's just a kick sample I found because I wanted more of like a oomph to the kick, and that's what that sounds like. And all I did was EQ that kick. I didn't really like compress it or anything. And yeah, that's the beginning drums. Super simple. I didn't really want to do much with that. And so the main, like, pizzazz in the first verse is really the vocals. The vocals were the main focus. So I have a lot of harmonies going on, and I really love the harmonies on these songs. They're all very, like, close together and almost crunchy in a way.
Thinking too much about taking in the moment, so I forget to take in the moment.
And a big trend on this album is I just didn't get rid of, like, the background sounds and the vocals. I like didn't clean them up, which for some songs it worked. I do regret it for this song because I think it would have sounded like even better if it was like very cleanly mixed vocals, but it's just something that I didn't really put much thought into until after the album when I was working on things and saw actually how much of a difference it can make to go and clean your vocals and get rid of that empty space. Like sometimes that texture is really nice, but I think for a song like this where it's very like oons, you want it to almost be like robotically clean. At least I think so. But the harmonies themselves I think are very fun. So what I did is I have just my main vocal line here.
Thinking too much about taking in the moment, so I forget to take in the moment.
And my vocal chain is different than I think the last two videos I showed you, or maybe I had updated it for Where Do You Go, I can't remember, but now I use this on most of my songs. I pretty much have the de-esser up front and center because my S's, they whistle, they do that, then I EQ, for a brighter sounding vocal, I just always up the mid or the highs, but this is also just like based off of the female vocal preset in the EQ thing. Then I have the CLA 7.6 compressor, also just with the female vocal preset. Then the CLA 2A, okay, just with the vocal preset. Then I duck out a bit more of the lows, like those frequencies that we don't really need in my voice. And then just an analog echo kind of delay, and then I always send it through that same reverb bus. And then I like to double it with a right and left vocal. And then so usually for my harmonies, I also have a center, right, left, but for this one, I only did right and left.
Thinking too much about taking in the moment, so I forget to take in the moment.
Because I really liked how it's just almost like peppered on top. Like it's not in your face, but you just like, it's like you hear the voices like whispering almost, is what that felt like to me. And I wanted to make sure when I was singing them too that I was getting really close to the mic and just like whispering into it, you know, just like, hey, how's it going? But yeah, so that's the harmonies, just super, super crunchy, super fun, super whispery. And then this is like the other side.
Trying not to show it, but my mind's my own opponent, doubting the path that I've chosen.
And then the only other element in this first verse, which we then have repeating throughout the whole song, is the don't blink whispers.
Don't blink.
Which I wanted to sound like they were coming through a tube. And the way I achieved that in the end was with the Abbey Road plugin. I think this is it without it.
Don't blink.
Which still sounds very like whispery, but then as soon as I added this,
don't blink,
just the reverb really like, it makes the whispers feel everywhere. Like I think it almost like feels like they're like inside of you. Not like that. I'm not inside of anybody. But yeah, I also just have saturation on there, which with the old radio preset, just for that little bit of distortion, and Little Altar Boy is what gives that lower octave double that we hear where my voice is pitched down super low. Again, something I wish that I did is cleaned this up a little bit more.
Blink.
Like you can hear that click at the end of it. But again, like there is a lot going on in the song, so you can't really hear any of this stuff. It's more of if you're really paying attention. But I do think that the little things are what end up like with having a cleaner mix. I'm not trying to be overly critical of myself I'm showing you what I've learned since producing this, because it's now been almost over a year since I produced this song, so it's been a bit.
I love what's been handed to me, all that I can hold. I love all of my surroundings.
So a big thing that comes in here is in the drums, we get another sample thrown in there. Which just adds some little, like, some more spark, some more fun, some more pizzazz, some more oomph. I really just have, like, the high ends of it coming through. I kind of ducked out everything else because I just needed that little extra texture on top. And then I have a cowbell sample that I just played through. I love cowbell. And like I title it, you always need more cowbell. Yeehaw. So that's the drums. And then we got this beautiful string sample that comes in. So let me play you what that actual sample sounded like from the beginning. So obviously it is in a different key, so I had to transpose it a bit. And then I just spliced it up. Spliced it. It's because I got it from Splice. Into its like respective rhythm that I wanted, so it would just like have that little repetition and like fit for the length of the phrase that I wanted. And then I added like a spreader and a ring shift, so the spreader just kind of like just brings it out more in the mix almost because it's like throughout everything, and then the ring shift is what's giving it that like sort of circular feel where it's like going. It's like almost like a phasing it kind of vibe. And then we also have the J37 like delay on there with the synth stereo preset. And I also EQ'd it to just completely duck out the lows and the highs and really just keep it in this mid-high range. We got some more synths happening. So this is actually one of my favorite like synth sounds. I think it's so beautiful and so calming. Like here, Isn't that just so, like, I feel like I'm transcending, like I'm floating over clouds right now. I'm just, if God is real, I'm with God right now, and we are making eye contact as we are floating above some clouds. It's just like, I just feel that synth in my bones. It is the Spirited Away preset on the OPX, and I just have the mids boosted. I have them boosted in that, and then just a delay on there, and it just like, yeah, I think it really is the glue of the song. Like, I think this synth, it also just feels like this song. It's like with the lyrics really match this synth, because it's very like this whole spiritual existential questioning and like wanting to like live in the moment, and that feels like this synth. So then all of these are then in this like bus that has really just the shaper box plugin with a sidechain going. So that's what we have, the ducking in and out so the kick can come through. Especially anytime I have any sort of like legato like synth that's playing out notes, I want, and I have like a big kick, and I want that, I have a sidechain going so the kick just like pushes through. We don't want to have anything interrupting it. And then so for the vocals, I don't have any harmonies going on the main vocal, but I do have these backing vocals that I just use throughout the song. Which is just me singing I love, and I have pitch correction on all of them, so it's really exact and almost robotic, and they're all being sent through reverb, and then I think I have it being sent through the reverb again, which kind of does some fun phasing, and then I just have the sidechain going on it, so it really just like I love and then the second half of the pre-chorus, we have more strings coming in, which is, I just took the Contact Native Instruments violin, which I use in a lot of my songs, and I just have that 4 times with like different automation and different violins, so it sounds like there are multiple. And then over that, I have the RC20 Retro plugin, Wow and Flutter, which gives it that kind of old-timey feel, I feel like. Let's hear it without it. Oh. That's not it. Oh, they all have saturation on it, which is what... Okay, it's the old radio saturation, which is what's giving it that. And then, yeah, I also, again, have the shaper box sidechain going through that. And that's it for the pre-chorus. I don't have anything else, except for then we got this riser that'll transition us to the chorus. Chorus time!
Don't blink, don't take it for granted, let your eyes bleed. Then embrace the panic as it runs free. Can't act like you planned it, but just don't blink. Don't blink, don't blink.
So the star of the show here, I don't know how many times I've used that phrase. I never use that phrase, and all of a sudden it's the number one thing in my vocabulary today. But we have this vocoder, which actually won't do anything when I have it soloed, because the way that it works is it takes in the audio input from bus 5, which is this. So I need this soloed as well to hear it.
Don't blink, don't take it for granted, let your eyes bleed. Then embrace the panic.
But yeah, I just pretty much played the chords of the like notes that I wanted the vocoder to sing, have that, and then I just have like me singing the Don't Blink a bunch of times, and I also have Little Altar Boy on one of these, so it's like pitched down. And we have this top line up here where I have it super auto-tuned, so the pitch correction's up like all the way with 0 like millisecond response, which just means it'll act super quickly on both of these, so that just really adds to the robotic feel, and I think was like just made all of it sound way better. And then we just have this like single synth note down here with just the side chain on it. With just the side chain on it. And that is kind of the only instrumentation going on. We just have the vocals and that, and then another riser at the end. The same one from before. And then we have me singing "Don't Blink" again.
Don't blink.
So then for the, I guess, post-chorus, or the drop, it is just the same synth line as before, except we have one more addition of the "Don't Blink" synth, but just an octave lower. The same drums as before, and then we have the newest and most exciting addition, the la 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 las.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
I love these. Any song with like yelly vocals, I'm here for it. I pretty much just have the decapitator, which is what gives it that like textured, just distorted yelling sound. And this is just me singing that a bunch of different ways. Like we can listen to some of them and see what they sound like.
La 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 la.
Yeah, I kind of was giving Britney a little bit in that.
La 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 la.
That one's a little bit more guttural.
La 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 la.
A little bit more, "Hey, how's it going?"
La 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 la.
I want to punch that bitch in the face, for sure.
La 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 la.
And that is somebody's grandfather. The just different voices just makes it sound a lot more like crowd yelling, instead of if I was just to sing it the same a bunch of different times, it would still have like a similar effect, but it wouldn't be as like, yeah, like we're all yelling this together. No, it would just be like, Dafna's yelling this. Woo! Maybe we'll join, but I don't know, like, are we supposed to? Or is it just her that's supposed to sing it right now? No, it's all of us. So that's super fun. And then we have the "Don't Blink" repeating, and then halfway through the drop, this is my favorite sample I've ever found. I've called it "Pew Pew 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 Pew." Like, if you hear me using this in every song, I'm not sorry. I will probably use this in more songs. Like, I am obsessed with this sample. It also just feels like I'm getting like shot in the chest 16 times, but also, or I'm being shot at, but I'm successfully avoiding each one. This is my Matrix moment. Like this right here, I'm Neo right now. Okay. Yeah. It's just like such an incredible sample, and then I just have the tremolo on it, so it's really going beep, 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 and we got a delay on it, and the reverb's on there, and it is just beautiful, and it is exactly what this song needed. Cause here, let's listen before. Okay, like, yeah, I'm having fun. Yeah. Oh shit! I'm not just having fun. I'm transcending. I'm about to throw. You see what I mean? It just like, it changes the vibe entirely. Also, like, the cowbell comes in at the same time. It's truly incredible. Whoever created that sample, I want to meet you. I want to shake your hand, and I want to give you a big kiss on the forehead. Now we've made it to verse number 2. Things are different now, okay?
I look for subliminal messages, maybe they're in my dreams.
This is the part of the song where we're really floating above the clouds. You know how I said earlier that synth, we're floating on a cloud and maybe looking God in the eye? Now we are holding hands with God and we're flying through the sky.
I look for subliminal messages, maybe they're in my dreams.
So first thing we got is I bounced all of those I love vocals from before, and I'm splicing them up so they fit within the context. Because I was not about to sing all of that again. Let's be real. That's a lot. I just wasn't going to do that. And I also kind of liked the sound of like the spliciness of it. I thought it really fit in with the song. But yeah, I needed it to fit in because at this point now the chord changes are different. We can listen to the synth here. So yeah, actually for the second verse, instead of going back to the same chord structure I had for the first verse, I actually just keep the same one that's in the drop. And then I think that continues throughout the rest of the song. So that's what's going on there. And then we have these new synths that come in, which I love. I love this sound. Like this sounds like it's game time, you know? Like it sounds like we're on like a game show or something, and like the suspense is going and like you're waiting for me to answer, and it's just like, okay, yeah. I'm ready for this. You know what? I think I can do this. I think I've gotten all the way to this point, and I'm gonna win. Like it's very much like pump up, like you got this. And then we have the chimes coming in, which really just give that whole ethereal vibe. Ooh. Which is just the Logic chimes. They are perfect. They're all I needed. I have the bass that we have in the earlier like pre, just pumping through. The drums, we have them cut out, so we don't actually have any of the kicks anymore. We just have the hats going right now. And I have a new hat sample actually right here, which is just a very simple like house vibe. And the cowbell continues, the cowbell perseveres.
Or in the state before I wake up when I'm not really asleep.
And then the strings come in.
Maybe it's a ghost or hallucination or...
The strings and all the drums come back in, and we're back in the swing of it. We realize, okay, it's building up again. And then... Oh, and actually one of my favorite parts are these harmonies that I added up here.
Hear the spirits speak, I watch and feel them breathe.
Like I thought those like very high harmonies are very necessary, especially for like the phrasing.
And I hear the spirits speak, I watch and feel them breathe.
Like those high harmonies are the spirits speaking, feeling, and breathing. Okay? And then we get to pre-chorus number 2.
Don't blink, don't take it for granted, let your eyes bleed. Then embrace the panic as it runs free. Can't act like you planned it, but just don't blink.
So this second pre is pretty much the same, except we have this like Farfisa plugin playing, and I just have like a filter sweep going on it, so it's starting like super ducked out, which you can see here, and then I just have it build throughout it, so that just really like brings like the hype throughout it, and everything else is pretty much the same as the one before, except I just have way more harmony layers on like the second part, because then it's just like a lot thicker.
Blink, don't let your mind wander as your heart sinks and fills up with water till you can't breathe. Just push yourself farther, but just don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink.
And then I also have a way longer filter sweep going, so it starts from way earlier. It starts from this, this pre-chorus is also double the length of the other one, but this one then goes through the entirety of the second half. And then we have like 3 sweeps going on at the same time, so it's just a lot bigger of like a burst, you know?
But just don't blink. Don't blink. Don't blink.
then yeah, this last drop, I hate the Farfisa plugin is so annoying. It does this like, okay, I'll get off. It is so loud. But yeah, pretty much the last drop is just everything that I've ever put together in this song all at once. And like the first half is almost everything that was in the second half of the last drop, and then the second half we get the cowbell again, and then all of the violin samples going. So let's hear that. And then we also have the game time synths going. But then I have this screamy synth on top of it that really just like nails that melody through. And of course we end on just the vocals, because that is one of my favorite things to do in a song, especially like a pump up song. But yeah, that's kind of the end of this breakdown. I don't think there's really anything else for me to go over. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. I do feel that this time around I was a little bit more, I guess, critical of my production, but like in a constructive way, I think. Like I do really love this song and the production of it. I think it's more of like the technical techniques that are it's something that I'm always learning and still working on, and I'm no expert by any means. And I think ultimately like the creativity is the most important thing about any song. Like you can't let your lack of technical expertise stop you from releasing music, because otherwise you will never learn unless you release bad or like worse music, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really love the song. I really am just so excited that this is out, that my whole album, honestly, it was like, I just think it's a lot better than all of my last albums, and I'm just happy to keep growing and learning as a producer and as a writer and as a singer. It's all just very exciting, and I'm glad that you guys are just here with me on this journey of just learning and getting better every day. And I also really appreciate the whole reason I keep making these videos is the few people that do comment and that leave like and say that you like these and that you want another. Like that is the only reason I'm making this right now, is because I do enjoy making these videos, but it is like, it really makes me happy when at least one person is excited about it too. That was so like heartfelt and vulnerable for me, guys. Oh my god. Again, let me know if you have any questions or anything, and what song you would want me to see me break down next. Love you. Bye.